So I think it's a safe bet to assume that I got all the books for this. Just like glitched. Like it wasn't me just pausing when I went this to that. It was like a lag. I wonder if that'll show up on your end when the video uploads. Probably because it's the way I recorded it. But I'm assuming that this is gonna be the most recent purchase I got was yesterday. I'm assuming it's the last of this month. So I'm gonna record it now and then film, and then it'll be uploaded November 1st. So it'll be future. Kind of weird because I'll get more. So I'll at least get the books. What? Because that's no, I won't. I keep thinking that I'm like doing this super early, but I'm not really. Because I think that like by the time I upload this, I'll have uploaded my reading recommendation, reviews of the books I just read, and showing you the new books, the library, which obviously don't count as it's the October haul. But then that video will be uploaded before the end of the month haul. But it won't be. Let's get right into it. Oh yeah, I want to do the ones I just got. I can't do that. Never mind. I can probably do that. I wanted to do the ones I just bought first, like I always do, because those are the ones that, so you guys know you can skip past that if you've already seen them. You know, all these pretty much you've all seen, but some of them you haven't actually. Some have, some haven't. So I did it all at once. The reason why I do this is because sometimes I don't get views or comments or anything like that, so I'm like, yeah, do it at the end. And then it's like showing them all off at the end, like a complete version of that. So you don't have to watch 5 videos, you can just watch 1 video. And of course, if I keep prattling on, this video is going to be an hour. Let's get right into it. So first up, I just put them down. First up is all 6 volumes of The Beauty, a series that I wanted for a long time. Well, not a long time, ever since I had reread The Beauty Volume 1. Again, first time I had read it, I didn't like it, but then I read it again, and I liked it a lot more. And then I wanted it ever since. And again, I only had Volume 1. I say it again because I mentioned this before in yesterday's video. That's what I mean by again. It's refreshing for those who had seen yesterday's video. But the only library that had Volume 1 was the library I got it from. It's local library, not anything Interloan. The Interloan, so as you don't know, it's my library getting books from other libraries through an internet service. Kind of like Amazon, I guess. I think it's exactly like Amazon, because a truck brings them in. It's books, movies, and all that kind of stuff. But again, just library stuff. And video games, too. Video games. But all 6 volumes, collecting all 30 issues. So, Volume 1, which is kind of funny, because Volume 1, Image Comics, almost always will only ask you to pay $10. That's their introductory price. Because then Volume 2, usually 2 and up, or whatever. Actually, this is $14.99. But I think Volume 6 is newer. Yep, $16.99. Yeah, $16.99 seems to be their default price, which is really annoying because it should be $14.99. Like, that should be... I think Image Comics, all indie publishers should be like, hey, you know, we're not the big 2. We're obviously, you know, we might have big names. A lot of it's just based off of the premise or the creative team behind it. We're only going to charge you $14.99 per trade, even if it's 6 issues. That's a steal. Even that Volume 1, I wouldn't totally mind that. I would actually. I can't lie to you guys and say I wouldn't totally mind that. Spending an extra $5, because it's Volume 1, almost always $10. Sometimes they're not. You'll see one later on that won't be, but there's an exception for that one. But for the most part, it's $10 unless it's a mini-series or they're just being weird. Like Bloodstained Teeth they got last time, and that was $16.99, and it was Volume 1, and it's an ongoing. They knew it was an ongoing too. I don't know what it is with Image Comics. I know it's not because it's a recent book. They've had recent books like Rogue Sun Volume 1. That was $10, and that's an ongoing too. Same as everything. It's like also one of those things where all 6 issues that come out, trade comes out, and then issue 7 isn't coming out until like next month at least. Like in the month after the trade comes out. But that's another thing I like about Image Comics. They do that sometimes where it's like, here's Volume 1. All the issues that are out already are in this volume. Pick it up now if you want to get all caught up, and then here comes Volume 7 next month. And maybe next week at the least. But DC Comics especially, Marvel Comics too, but DC Comics especially, they're like, not only is our Volume 1 getting delayed, but it's going to come out like a year after issue 17 has come out, and Volume 1 only collects 1 through 4. and it's a hardcover, so it's more expensive. DC Comics makes it, and I didn't understand, like, it's not DC Comics is his fault for delaying the books, but it's still annoying. Okay, rant over. Again, we're already 10 minutes, no, 5 minutes in, and only got over one few books. Beauty Volume 1 collects 1 through 6. Beauty Volume 2 and 2 to 6 are 5 issues each. So Beauty Volume 2 is 7 to 11. I can find it. Sometimes they have it at the bottom, sometimes they'll have it here, sometimes they'll have it here, sometimes you have to go inside the book and look it up. Oh yeah, that's the artwork for Volume 2. It's really annoying. And sometimes you have to go to the back of the book to find out what it collects. It's like, I want to know what issues it collects. Why is this so difficult? It's pretty good artwork. Again, for those of you who don't know, it's like, there's a book called The Beauty Makeup Be Always, about this fashion blogger who wants to make it big in town, so she like wants to make herself beautiful or something like that. It's kind of like about that, but it's not about fashion blogger, but it's people want to make themselves beautiful at the cost of possibly getting an STD. Like they can be the ugliest person, Elephant Man type people, and then they make themselves like a model at the cost of getting an STD. It's more than that. It's like, it's also a commentary on like beauty and like how beautiful people want to make themselves, make themselves at the cost of like just destroying themselves, basically. It's also, and again, like I said before, the yesterday's video, I can't actually keep saying that, but I do. Like I mentioned previously, it's also there's especially in volume 2 got like a lesser reviews than volume 1. Volume 1 was like a 3.8, and this was at 3.5 on Goodreads. And the main complaint they had was this does not follow up what Volume 1 does. Volume 2, if Volume 1 sets up. Volume 2 is a prequel, kind of sort of thing. But yeah, 7 through 11. And then as the series goes along, they say it loses its premise and it just becomes a shoot 'em up. I didn't mind that, it's like whatever. But I did spend, and I got it half off, even getting it half off, it was still a good amount of money that I had to spend. It was like $40. It was 1 week's allowance for me, but it's still like one of those things where, again, I had $80 to spend full, because it was 40, it was a gift card, and 40 I had to pay. So I had $80 total. And I could have gotten this, I could have gotten that, and I realized that, but it was one of those things where I was like, especially when I found out that it wasn't that expensive to get all 6 volumes, at least as expensive as I thought it would be. I was $4 off, that's still $4. Yeah, it was $4 off. But, I was like, you know what, I'll finally get the series. It's one I wanted for a long time, but it was one of those ones I could have waited for. I would have been fine with waiting. But less books I gotta put in my wish list, 12 to 16 for Volume 3. Volume 4, and there's no titles for Volume 4, it's just Volume 4, The Beauty Volume 4. Volume 4 collects 17 to 21. And it's still bent a little bit. Volume 5 collects The Beauties 22 to 26. And then The Beauty Volume 6, and why it was so hard for me to remember, gives you 26 to 30 of The Beauty, with the exclusive story A Legacy of Fire by writers Angela and Joel Enos and artists Lee Ferguson and Evan Waldinger. I think it's none of the writers from none of the creative team from the series. Now it just says there's a little bump here. It's really weird. So where's that bump coming from? Let's see. Not coming from the book, right? Oh, it's in the book. What the heck? Weird. That's what that bump was. Alright. That's The Beauty. A series I do recommend because I did read Volume 1, like I said before. So at least there's that. Again, it's one of those things where I click on these books. I think the thing is, it's just it's a whole thing where it's not a series anybody is talking about, that the people that I listen to that do talk about Image Comics, not just the big two. It's not one that they're talking about, that they recommend. It's not one of those ones that's like an underground success. It's just kind of there. And even though I liked it, it's still like, and not that I go by what, and that's the other thing, it's not like I go by what people say about books. It's not like I'm like, oh, I will only get books that this guy recommends, and if he doesn't talk about this book, I'm not getting it. No, it's just kind of like, I don't know. And it wasn't a whole lot I had, like, I could have gone for $80. I mean, yeah, I could have gotten this, and that, but, like, I kind of wanted to get something that was worth it. And it says worth it, but again, it's just, I don't know. I don't know. Next one up is another series I read. I only read issue 1 of the full series. I did like it enough. Oh, wait, $10. $10. Already 10% remaining. I already had 10 minutes. Haha. That's funny. Alright, so I gotta plug this guy in. So yeah, as I was saying, it's a series that I read issue 1 of. I thought it was good. And a follow-up from that video where I said, oh, this is the Wolf Den. He recommended it. I followed him. I did follow him on Twitter. I reached out to him on Twitter, and I was like, hey, did you read Thieves? I want to find that video that he talks about it. And he's like, I have no idea what you're talking about. I never talked about that series. And I'm like, what? I don't know if it... Because I vaguely remember him saying, oh, me and my wife, we read this book. We really like it. It's a good series. I vaguely remember him saying that. It was a long time ago. Like a long, long time ago. So maybe he did forget, because he reads a lot of comics. More than I do, I feel. Maybe about the same. Not more, because he's been... Duh. He's been reading comics longer than I have. I think he's been doing videos longer than I have. I don't know why I say he's read more comics than I have. Maybe he's read less comics than I have. I'm all jumbled. Anyways, so, it was a long time ago he made that video. It was so long ago that I was still getting Marvel and DC books. I hadn't branched out yet. And even then, with Marvel and DC, I'd only get the books based off the movies. Like, oh yeah, Thor, Iron Man, The Avengers, Wolverine, X-Men, Spider-Man, Batman, Green Arrow, and Green Lantern I still wasn't into all that much. I want to say it was that long ago. And I had read that and watched that video and was like, oh yeah, I'll check out Thieves. Never ended up getting it. My local Newbury Comics never had the series, not even Volume 1 or anything like that. Over the years, I had thought maybe my library will have it. My library didn't have it. And I'm like, alright, I'll get the series. And then I was like, oh, it's too expensive. That's 7 volumes. That's a bit too much for my price range. That was back before I even had a job. Even when I got a job, I want to say I just completely forgot about it. Then about, I would say a year ago, I remembered that. I was like, oh yeah, Thieves. Maybe watch that video again. No, I didn't watch it because I would have remembered. And I was like, alright, I'll pick up that series once and for all. And Volume 5 was out of print. And it was always Volume 5. Oh yeah, sorry. Thieves is the series. I just realized I was talking about the series. I never showed it. So all 7 volumes, I decided to get all 7 volumes of Thieves. The reason why I do that for a series is because I know that I'm going to want them all. Like, I'm a completist. I'm just in the completist. I keep saying I'm going to change my YouTube name to that. I'm going to keep it multimedia, man. It's so easy. Everyone knows. I'm so far ahead. Not far ahead. I'm so far into the game. Not too far, but I'm into the game. At this point, I'm like, I'm not going to change it. It's kind of like the Patriots changing their name at this point. Okay, that is a bit of a stretch. It's like, I don't know. It's all 7 volumes of Thieves. Volume 1, I quit collecting Thieves, Volume 7, collecting Thieves 1 through 7. All 7 volumes and all 43 issues. It's 43 issues total. But here's what here's what each volume collects. And no covers, too. It goes right into the, story, which I don't like. It's like, and I'm in the back. It's like super annoying. Why am I don't collect the covers? Like you could even get rid of this Walking Dead advertisement and it's put all 6 issues that were collected in here all on one page. I don't mind that. I don't need a dedicated page for the issue. All right, so Thieves Volume 3, Help Me, collecting Thieves 8 through 13. So 6, yeah, Volume 2, Help Me, collecting 8 through 13. So each volume after Volume 1, because Volume 1 gives you the most. It's $14.99 for this Volume 1, by the way. Oh wait, you can't see it because it's got the use new sticker on there. But it's $14.99, hopefully. Well, maybe it's not. Maybe it's $16.99. But see, this is the same price, presumably. For Volume 2 and up. No, actually not for up, because I think for Volume 6, Volume 7, I know is $16.99. So that's how much I paid. Volume 3, Venice. And yeah, a lot of these were one left in stock, too, when I bought them. So I was like, yep, definitely getting that. Thieves 14 to 19. And this is also a series that started out. Robert Kirkman did like I think he just came up with the story. He was like, oh, here's what happened in the story, but he didn't write the actual book. That is done by Nick Spencer, and he jumps off on the series after Volume 1. He leaves the series. He's like, I'm done. Then Andy Diggle picks up, and I think it's right on Volume 2. No, sorry, James Asmus. Just James Asmus does Volume 2. No secondary writer. But for Volume 3, you can see Robert Kirkman and James is still credited to be doing the story, along with James Asmus and Andy Diggle. But Andy Diggle goes on to write the story. And he did a really fantastic crime story that I have since read before. I've since read after buying Thieves, called... What's it called again? It was one that he did for Volume 4, The Hit List. It was one he did for Vertigo. It was, I can't remember. I have it right here. I can just check it. But Volume 4 collects Thieves 20 to 25. And I think Andy Diggle is just doing the rest of the series along with... Yeah, just credited here. And the reason why I like to go over the books that... This is the book, Ratcatcher, I read. This library book, it's not what I got. We'll be seeing a review of this soon. But Ratcatcher he had done for Vertigo, and I really like that one. I read since I got the Thieves. I don't think I've read anything from James Asmus. I read a lot from Robert Kirkman. I read all of his Walking Dead and almost all of his Outcast. Still upset they didn't have Volume 7, which I know they had at my local library, Interloans. Alright, so Volume 5, Take Me. It's the one that was out of print. Yeah, it still says just Andy Diggle. I think that's what was the rest of the series. Let's see, Volume... Oh, wait, what does Volume 5 collect? Volume 5 collects... Thief of Thieves, 26 to 31. So Thief of Thieves is about these bank robbers, heist people, and the main guy was like, I quit. And that's where issue 1 left leaves off on. So, I don't know what happens to that. Volume 6, Gold Rush, collecting Thief of Thieves, 32 to 37. The reason why I like to do this, go over what it collects, it's just a way of, being organized. Yeah, it seems to be mainly Andy Diggle. James Asmus did Volume 2, he wrote Volume 2, but Volume 3 is credited him for doing the story, along with Robert Kirkman. And that just means they came up with, like, what happened in the story, I guess. It's kind of like they created it. It's kind of complicated, but Nick Spencer did the writing for Volume 1, and then Volume 2, it was Andy Diggle. No, sorry, it was Volume 2, it was that guy. Then Brett Lewis comes on for Volume 7. Another one where they say Volume 7 is the worst reviewed one. They said it ended terribly, so. But this one collects Thief of Thieves 38 to 47. And gives you a pretty big spoiler at the back when you're reading what the premise is on for Volume 7. Right there, right front and center for everyone to see. Alright, well, everyone to see it looks at the back of the book. Or reads the description on Amazon. So, yeah, it's like I was saying, James Asmus does the story, the writing for Volume 2, and then he's just doing the story for Volume 3, and Volumes 3 to, I want to say, to 6 is Andy Diggle. So, and again, like with The Beauty, it was one of those books that I was like, I'm getting this instead of that, but it was cheaper than the other books I had that I wanted instead, but it was way cheaper. It was like $20 cheaper. I was like, I'm saving $20 and getting a series that will probably be out of stock tomorrow. I just can't win with myself sometimes. But no, it was one of those ones I was happy I got. The ones I wanted instead were series I had never heard of, by authors I'd never heard of for the most part. There was a series I'd finally get to finish, but I was like, yeah, I'll wait till at least Christmas. I know, it's a long ways to wait, but I'll probably, if I get a job, I'll probably get them before. That'd be a better idea to get them instead of the other ones, and put those ones. I have so many books, and just going by Image Comics, I'm a huge Image Comics kick. The TLDR for that is because I didn't have a whole lot, I wanted to increase my collection, and they're just like the indie publisher that I've read the most from, but indie comics wise, that I like. Dark Horse, yes, there's a lot of Dark Horse, but Valiant, there's nothing. IDW, there was a good amount, but Image Comics has the most I want to read, that I know that is good. Well, at least I know is well reviewed. Of course, Dark Horse has their fair share. IDW has their fair share, but a lot of IDW stuff is licensed stuff like TMNT and Power Rangers. Alright, so moving on to the next set of books, and these are all three of these are by Dan Waters. I'm going to show them all at once, and that is Limbo and Coffin Bound. The main reason why I got these at first was because I wanted to finish my Dan Waters collection. I have Homesick Pilots. I got that a few months ago, and I found out, hey, he just did Limbo and Coffin Bound. That's the last of what you need from him. And that's going by Image Comics, the website. And they're pretty accurate. Sometimes they're not. They just completely forget about books that these guys have written. It's weird. Like, why don't you have that credit for him? That he wrote this. It's not because that's out of print either. Like, they have books that are in print and they just don't have that listed. The only one I've read, but I have since read it, that I don't own by Dan Waters Image Comics. He did for Image Comics is 24 panels, but he just did a one story in it, and it was like a 5-page story. Not even 5 pages. But anyways, and it was out of print on Amazon, so I couldn't get it. Now, another reason why I do these in the month hauls is sometimes I forget to mention something, or I misspoke, I guess you'd say. Limbo, I had said it collected 1 through 4. It doesn't. Now, to be fair, there was no way of me knowing if I was right or wrong, because of the fact that Amazon, if you go by the Kindle books, it says 1 of 4. But if you go down further, it's 1 of 6. So, where is... Let's go way in here. It's not even at the... Because it goes right into the book. It's 1 page Limbo, and then you get the, And then you get the book. You get maybe the introduction to Limbo by Dan Waters, and you get issue 1, and it gets right onto it. Where is it? I want to say it's 1 through 6. That's what Image. That's what the. It's pretty thick. Oh, here it is. It's hidden from me. Oh, it's not 1. Okay, I see. Yep, 1 through 6. But see, I didn't see this, so I thought it was, oh, issue 1. Here's the story. But I don't think they even give you the covers. They do. You do. It was just a really weird thing for them to do. They were just like, here's all in one. See paper. Which, honestly, I don't mind that. So yeah, Limbo collects 1 through 6. Limbo is a mini-series. And his first foray into Image Comics. So, that's pretty neat. I've read, from Dan Waters, I have read that one he did for 24 panels, the one-shot he did, Ocean Master, which I did dig. Then he did... I've read from him. Then he did something from Superman Red and Blue, and then 24 panels, like I mentioned before. It was anthologies. I like that one, too. Nothing I've read by him has, no pun intended, blown me out of the water. No pun intended. It hasn't blown me out of the water. But it's still, like, it's one of those series that I'm like, yeah, I'll get it by him. And they seem to have gotten good reviews. Coffin Bound, it didn't get the best reviews, but they didn't have both volumes at my local library. They had volume 1, that was it. And it sounded interesting, too, the premise, for Coffin Bound. It's like, oh, Lauren Ellis said it was good. That was the one I was waiting, that was the one yeah, Karen Gillan said it was good. It's just like it's like a chase by an unstoppable killer, and it's like supposed to be it's supposed to be more involved than that. Like, it's about like and they said it was Mad Max meets Sandman. And I have since reread Sandman. I'll get that review when I review it, but TLDR, I like it now. But you'll get a full review later on next video probably. 1 through 4 for volume 1. Pretty thick, but I didn't get at least issue 1. It was a pretty long issue, I think. So yeah, $16.99, but it's only a 2-volume series. That makes sense, you know. If it's only gonna be 2 volumes, 8 issues, it makes sense. You're not gonna make issue 1. You're not gonna make volume 1 $9.99 introductory price. So we get the same price as volume 2. Volume 1 and 2 are the same price. But volume 2, volume 1, Happy Ashes, collecting 1 through 4 of Coffin Bound. Volume 2, Coffin Bound, Volume 2, Dear God, collecting 5 through 6. And no one additionally. Neil Gaiman said it was good. It's kind of funny because they said it was a lot like the Sandman meets Mad Max Fury Road. I'm pretty sure. I know they said that it had Sandman vibes for the most part. I don't know if that was the one that said Sandman meets Mad Max Fury Road. I should watch that. I should watch that movie. Next one up was a one of those ones where I was like, what's one first? Like one that I do this about. I would say I've been doing this once a month for a pretty long time, and I'm like, you know what? This comic I only have volume 1 of. It looks pretty lonesome by itself. So let's get the rest of the well, on 25 minutes now. Let's get the rest of the series, and I decided to do that this time with Oblivion Song, volumes 2 through 6, collecting the remaining few issues of that, many issues of that storyline. But 1 through 6, it's a 36 issue. It's a 36 issue series. Now what was I saying? 36 issue series. Finished it off. Oh, they had the first 2 of 3 hardcovers. I mean, at my local library. I've since seen that. I don't know if it was. I don't think they just got volume 2 because they had volume 1. I had a volume 1. I was fine without, just getting the rest of the series. But when it's 2 out of the 3, I'm like, when are they getting volume 3? I don't know. It's weird. Like, I swear to God, like I didn't have it before when I checked it. But this is like a bunch of people go missing, and in Limbo is a mystery kind of thing. It's like a mystery crime type of thing. I didn't like know about Limbo, but I'm going over like what the series is about because a lot of you guys might know that. But Oblivion Song is a sci-fi series with a bunch of people go missing, and this one guy wants to go find them when the government gives up on them. So Oblivion Song Chapter 2. And it's Robert Kirkman, too. I know it's going to be good, because Robert Kirkman can do no wrong. Collects issues 7 through 12. It's 6 issues per volume. I don't think I've read anything. Besides Super Dinosaur, when that wasn't targeted towards me, targeted towards little kids. That was the only thing I read by Robert Kirkman I didn't like. Oblivion Song, Chapter 3, collecting issues 13 to 18. Oblivion Song, Chapter 4, collecting issues 19 to 24. Oblivion Song Chapter 5, collecting issues 25 to 30. 25 to 30. And finally, Chapter 6, collecting 31 to 36 of Oblivion Song. Chapter 5. They flip-flop on what they want to call each volume. They want to call it volume, book, chapter. But Volume 5 seems to be the thickest. I don't know why. It actually doesn't here. I don't know. It doesn't. It's meta. But they say sci-fi series. Like going off the premise, I would say it's more of a dystopian series. I haven't read it yet, so I can't say for sure. But based off the premise, and it's sci-fi and dystopian are basically sister genres, kind of sort of like there's a lot of sci-fi elements in dystopian books, so. I don't know why I'm like, oh no, sci-fi and dystopian, they're completely different. Like, no, they're not. The next 2 were series by an author I have read nothing bad from. And unlike, well, actually there's 1 or 2 I have read bad from. But nothing like absolutely atrocious that I've read by Cullen Bunn. And what's even better is the ones that I've read by him, that I've written by him, for Image Comics, when I read by him, got 2.8 out of 5, and I loved that book. So, and this is going based off of Goodreads. So I'm safe bet to assume that I'll like Unearth by Cullen Bunn. All 2 volumes. Volume 1, I could have gotten at Newbury Comics for like, what, it was like, at least half off, so $7. Volume 1, Unearth, collecting, I didn't mind paying extra. Technically, I didn't pay for it, because it was a graduation party gift. Graduating gifts. I graduated this year. Collecting 1 through 5 of Unearth. It's like a flesh-eating virus. They're very topical now because of COVID. I heard that they have a lot of COVID elements. This came out right before the pandemic. So, as the series went along, I'm sure Cullen Bunn incorporated some of the COVID into this series. Michael Morrissey likes this. I don't know who that guy is. Unearth 6 through 10, Volume 2, but it's the only one that wasn't by Yeah, it's a Sci-Fi Wire and Michael Morrissey gave it good reviews. That's credit, anyways. Yes, Cullen Bunn series, horror, right up my alley. Because that's what I like from Cullen Bunn. I have yet to read his Hero County, though. It seems to be like his most critically acclaimed book, so I'll probably eat that up when I read it. Next 4 is Headlopper. Now, this is a series that I read a long time ago, so long ago that it was before I gave Mike Mignola like a 30th chance and actually liked Mike Mignola. So I was like, you know what? This is like Image Comics. This is an answer to Mike Mignola. So to Hellboy, Mike Mignola. So why not get this series? Now, this is probably, at least this month, the best deal I got on a book. Except for Volume 4, which is $17.99, they had to pay extra, like $1 extra. Well, again, I didn't have to, but it was still $1 extra. But they give you this thick book for only $19.99. And then as the series goes along, it's a little bit thinner, but it's $16.99. So it actually goes down in price. And still 4 issues. 4 issues, yeah, it is only 4 issues. Issue 1 is just so long. It's like 96 pages for issue 1. So it explains how my book is as thick as it is. Some minor. Yeah, it's so small. Rick Remender likes the series. Scotty Young likes the series. Jonathan Hickman likes the series. Yes, 1 through 4. It's 4 issues per, so 16 issues. No volume 5. Actually, it's supposed to be an ongoing, technically. But Angel McClellan has so much going on right now that he can't get back on Headlopper. And he has, like, he moved out from his house, studio, wherever. He's moving into a new house, studio, whatever. Probably both. And he also is on, I think he's just writing a bunch of other series, which I should probably check out now. Oh, Robert Kirkman said it was good. My favorite Image Comics writer. I wouldn't say probably my favorite. That I can think of on top of my head, anyways, right now at least. Volume 2, collecting 5 through 8. Jeff Lemire said it was good. Jeff Darrow, which I kind of recognize, but not really. Yeah, collecting issues 5 through 8. Each issue is just like 40 plus pages, which is, accounts for how long it is. It's just, again, it was one of those things that the only downside to having it so long is just it's gonna be like, I mean, for me it's gonna be fine because I'm not trying to read it all in one sitting or read it all by this time because I own them. Not a library book, and they're at return, and I want to return in 2 weeks at least, Oh, it's like a bend here, and it shows throughout the book. Just notice that. So small, so minuscule. Volume 3, collecting issues 9 through 12. Ed Piscor said it was good. Matt Fraction said it was good. I know it's like, if anything, they was giving them pats on the back. You pat my back, I'll pat yours. I don't want to say that is the case for all these guys, but it's just kind of nice when like Jeff Lemire is probably my favorite author, honestly, for comics, anyways. And that's indie books, not like obviously there's like Stan Lee and what have you. That's normie answer, but it's nice when these top tier talent says, "Hey, this book is good. I read this book from Image Comics. It's good. Check it out." It's like, okay, well, yeah, I have more incentive to check it out than they would if someone else that I like that I actually. Nah, I don't say the book is the same. I'm still looking at YouTubers. They say this book is good. I'll be more inclined to get it if a bunch of creators say it was good, like top tier talent said it was good, which actually makes sense because it's YouTubers versus writers themselves. And Volume 4 collects. Oh, I do the thing. I like doing this. Volume 1, Headlopper Volume 1, and The Island or A Plague of Beasts, collecting Headlopper 1 through 4. I like to be complete. Volume 2, Headlopper Volume 2 of Headlopper and the Crimson Tower, collecting 5 through 8 of Headlopper. Headlopper in Volume 3 and Knights. Volume 3, Headlopper and the Knights of Venora, collecting 9 through 12 of Headlopper. And then Volume 4, Headlopper and the Quest for Mulgrid Steer, not Star, collecting 13 through 16 of Headlopper. Dog's going insane. Someone walks in the house. He's like, "Oh, that's a hi." And finally, the final 3, because I gotta get going, because I've been doing this for actually not that long. I thought it'd be 10 minutes longer than I thought it'd be. 1:39. Yeah, we're still good. Still doing good in time. Final. Good. I thought they're calling for me. Like, better not be. I'm almost done. Final 3 is Skullkickers. Now, spoilers, I did get the misprint for Volume 2, but it's just one page, and they gave you, and Jim Zub was nice enough to give you the corrected page on his website. So, worst case, I'll just print out that because I have it saved on my iPad now, so we're using to film this video. Worst case, what I'll do is I'll print it out and just put it where it belongs in the book. Probably not too bad. I'm just, when I get to that page and I'm reading it, I'll read it on the iPad. And just one page, you know, it's not a big deal. I'm not going to wait to get the same book probably from the same publisher because it's worth mentioning. It was from a third-party seller, but still. But it's collecting. It came out in 2013. The reprint came out in 2014. How, almost 10 years later, did they still get the misprint? Why are they still in stock? And it was shipped from Amazon, but sold by, it was Jules Comics. I mean, Jules Comics is like, misprint? What's that? I don't know. But it's all 34 issues, and it's a nice, oversized hardcover. It's not as big as deluxe, not as tall as deluxe editions, but hey, as tall as the Rat Queen's one, so. Technically a bit taller. I was doing a size comparison, and it almost seemed like Rat Queen's was bigger. Now, like with Rat Queen's, there's also a fantasy series, it's more comedic. But unlike Rat Queen's, it's rated T for teen. Which, there's a crossover with Priceless, and, not Priceless, they did a crossover with Princeless, and Princeless is for kids. And I don't know if they're saying T for teen, like, it's rated PG-13 technically, but more PG and for kids kind of sort of like Marvel does. Marvel T for teen. The Marvel has T for teen and Teen Plus. Teen Plus is PG-13. Teen means for kids, but we can't read it all ages because there's a bit of, like, language, maybe, like, one issue of this 5-issue miniseries. And it's more Marvel PG. I don't know if it's the same for Skullkickers. They say it's pretty violent, so I'm gonna assume it's more PG-13. I don't know. And I know it's not a deal breaker for me, but it's kind of one of those things where I'm like, I mean, if you're an indie publisher for a reason. I don't know. Maybe Jim Zub wanted to write something that wasn't vulgar. Maybe, I don't know. First 11 issues of this hit comic series collected in Volume 1. And Volume 2 does collect the Princeless crossover. At least it's credited here. So, that was the only reason why I got Princeless. But I've since read Princeless, and spoilers, it's good. So, it was worth it. I have not read I haven't finished it yet, Princeless. I have not read the Skullkickers crossover. 12 to 23 for Volume 2 of Skullkickers, Treasure Trove. With the misprint. And Treasure Trove of Volume 3, collecting Skullkickers 24 to 100. Wow, that's a lot of issues in one volume. No, they renamed issue 34 to issue 100 because they're like, hey, why not do that? I mean, Sex Criminals did the same. They named their last issue. I don't know what the last issue was. Let's say it's issue 30. They named it 69. Yes, they knew what they were doing, but that made sense there. So it was like an in-joke. I don't know if it's an in-joke for Skullkickers, or they just wanted to be like, hey, issue 100. We got that far, haha. Deadpool did the same thing. They went down. It was like 900, and they went 800th issue. That was an in-joke as it's Deadpool. I don't know. But Gail Simone said it was good. IGN, but IGN. John Layman did True. True is... He did Detective Comics run? Huh. But True is just an amazing Image comic series. Pick that up, like, ASAP. Tracy Hickman, I wonder if she's related or married or girlfriend to Jonathan Hickman's daughter. Hopefully not both. That'd be weird. I think we know about it. I think I know about that by now. But 30 books total. A lot of books, but I mean, part of it was Graduation Hall. But it's only because I overshot. I was trying to say like, oh, if I had more because of the Graduation Hall. Just because I thought I'd get more money. I don't know why I thought that. It's inflation. Yeah, sure, you definitely get more. There's inflation in anything. And sometimes I'm saying it to myself. But that, as I say, is that. All Image Comics, because I'm trying to get that Image Comics library in my mind, my personal library, to more than 30 books. Because that's what it was at before I got 41 of them for my birthday. And that was in May. I've since been getting nothing but Image Comics, so now it's more like 200. But I want to get it to at least... I think now because I have 2 shelves full. Not 2 shelves, like, you notice there was rows. So, like, those 2, they see the behind me, the DVDs, are all filled up with Image Comics. But it's a different kind of shelf. But there is also, like, a big gap at the end, where there's no bookend, so, like, I can't put them, I had to go to the rungs, the last rung. I had to go there, so I don't want the place to fall over. So technically, it's not 2 rows of shelves, but I want to get to 3 rows of shelves. So when you look at my shelf, you see, oh, right there and then. And I'm on my bed looking at it, because it's right across, right, you know, at the foot of my bed, basically. I can see all Image books right in front of me. Nice to see. I know it's a weird thing, but... And also, Image Comics has never let me down. Like, severely. Motor Crush is the only one I can think of they absolutely hated. I mean, I should probably give it I give it a second chance at Rag Queens. I really like that series now, so... But no, I think Motor Crush I won't like. If I read it again. It's probably a reason one got cancelled. Prematurely. But that, as they say, is that. 41 minutes. I think I've gone on for long enough. And that is it.